Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty 78609, live and in color from Fort Clark Springs, Texas. We're fixing to go take a little drive. I got to go to the grocery store in Del Rio, Texas, which is about, 35 miles one way. And I'm in my 2022 Chevy Bolt EV 2LT. And what I want to talk about this morning is charging an electric vehicle. A lot of people are paranoid about range and stuff, and I have to tell you, most of that is just hype. There is no range anxiety here. I guarantee you. Everything about owning an electric vehicle is individual. It's based totally on the way you drive, the distance you drive per day, and everybody is different. So that's why you get a lot of negative feedback, or I do on my channel sometimes, related to what I'm talking about for EVs for me, because people will say, well, I drive 1,000 miles a day and that just ain't gonna work for me. Well, that's probably true, but I don't. Some days I don't drive my car at all. I mean, I'm 77 years old, retired, been retired for a long time, and so again, it works for me, and I think it would work for the majority of the population of the world. I really do. Why? Well, because apparently the average commute in the whole world is less than 35 or 40 miles. Well, believe me, you can do an EV. That's the EV world right there. That's where it fits, because driving in city traffic is what it's basically designed for, because when you're stopped, you're not burning any fuel at all and very damn little electricity. But anyway, the home charger I have that came with my 2LT, my Bolt EV meaning electric vehicle, is a 110 charger, a 110 volt. Just plugs into a regular wall outlet, and it will charge at the rate of about 4 miles per hour. So in 10 hours, you would get 40 miles of range. Is that a problem? I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but for me, it's more than adequate. And for many others, I'm sure it would be too. Because for me, let's just say I'm taking this trip now. I don't know what time it is, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll be back from this trip by 11:30, and I'll put my car on charge. Well, by midnight tonight, I'll have put in 48 miles, and by 6 a.m. another 24. So that will completely restore all of the power I used for this trip today, just because I'm not going to be using it anyway. I mean, I've done my grocery shopping, I'm done for the day. So as far as a level 2 charger, which charges about 3 times faster than a 110 outlet, that's great. If you need to charge your car from 0 to full in 6 hours, then you may need it. But if you don't need it, and they're not cheap. And even though Chevrolet has an incentive from them to provide you with $1,000 credit towards getting the level 2 charger installed, they don't install them everywhere. I mean, that's an illusion. I mean, I got a 2022 Bolt EV 2LT exactly 8 days ago, or 8 or 9, and Q-Merit sent me an email. That's the people that arrange for the installation of the level 2 charger for General Motors. And then I get a call from a fellow out of San Antonio, Texas, that does the installation statewide for Q-Merit, quote, General Motors. And so we talked for a while. Of course, you got to send them some pictures in advance so that the electrician knows what he's looking at. A picture of the power pole, a picture of the inside of your garage, a picture of your power box, where your what do you call them? I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, where all your power box stuff is, your breaker box. Okay, I got it. Anyway, but anyway, you send them a picture of that, so the electrician has all of that in front of him, and he looked at mine and he said, "Where's this? Where's that?" And I told him. But I live in Brackettville, Texas, which is 150 miles from San Antonio, Texas. That's one way. And he said, "Man," he said, "the trip charge to your area is going to be, ridiculous." And he said it's going to be very expensive if we do it. We got to do some conduit, blah blah blah. Basically, what he was saying is we don't want to fool with your job, and that's enough said about that. So that's another thing you got to be aware of. If you live in a rural area, and I do, there are no electric chargers here in Brackettville, Texas, or Fort Clark Springs, where I live. Brackettville, Texas, is that little community directly across the highway. This is Highway 90 right in front of us. And that way is Brackettville, and behind me is Fort Clark Springs. And Fort Clark Springs is a retirement area, but there's no chargers in there either. So you got to charge at home with a 110 outlet. For me, is that a problem? No, but if they would have told me that before I bought the electric vehicle, not knowing what I know now, I would have probably thought, man, I don't know, can I do this or not? And so, anyway, as to charging the electric vehicle, for probably 80% of the population, a 110 charger will work wonderfully. Do you need to go to other electrical chargers? Well, of course, if you live in an apartment where you don't have access to a charger, then you're going to have to do the external, or whatever you want to call it, charging stations. They are fast, and there's a question as to whether fast charging damages the battery or not. I don't know. I'm not going to say. You can check it out for yourself, but it appears it might. They say not to charge it. If you don't need to, don't charge your battery above 80%, and don't let it get below 10 or 20%. So it's something you got to be aware of. I don't think you need to be paranoid about it, but again, it's a learning experience. Again, I've only had mine for a week or so I'm certainly no authority. But the range anxiety that I thought I was going to run into is non-existent, totally non-existent. It does not exist. As far as the car itself, other than being electric, it's just like any other car you'd buy. I mean, this just happens to be a good one in my opinion. It's quiet. Driving down the highway here on these roads here in Texas, like this one right here, is not the best highway because it's a pretty heavily traveled highway going to the Texas-Mexico border. Acuna, across from Del Rio, Villacuña, is it's about 200,000 population city. Del Rio is only about 30,000 population. So, but be that as it may, charging your electric vehicle, in my opinion, guys, is not a problem. Now, then somebody's going to say, well, what if you want to take a long trip? Well, take a damn long trip. Don't let anything hold you up, because there's chargers all over. Believe me, there's apps that'll show you where chargers are all along your way. Now, how long will you be held up there charging? Well, depends on how low your battery is and a lot of different things. But if you plan ahead for that, like in other words, you plan to stop for a snack or get something to eat along the way, then that would be a good time to stop at a charging station in that area and charge your car while you're having your lunch, get in your car and continue on your drive, and do the same thing over and over and over, till you cross the whole United States if you want to. And most motels have charging stations available for free for their customers, and that's something you can check into too. Also, I'm told that there are Walmarts and other retailers that have electric chargers available for their customers while they're shopping. So you could go into a Walmart and do a little shopping and whatever. I mean, but the point being is that we are transitioning from internal combustion engines, gasoline powered, diesel powered automobiles, to totally electric vehicles. Get on, get off, or get the hell out of the way. It's coming. So you can stick your head in the sand and say, well, I'm never going to do that. I had the same situation with people my age. I'm 77. With people my age not wanting to get a smartphone. Same thing, same group, same mentality. Change, I ain't gonna do it. You can't make me do it. And over a period of years, they all have smartphones now. Most of them, I'd say 98 or 99% of them do anyway. And so it's just another change. And again, the old adage, get on, get off, or get the hell out of the way is true, because, and for me, I like technology. I like to be on the front edge rather than being drug in, somebody having to drag me into it. I had a smartphone when they first came out. I even had a radio phone back when. So enough said about that. But again, guys, we're on the way to Del Rio to do a little shopping, about a 80-mile roughly round trip, maybe 70 to 80 depending on where else I go. And is that a problem? Not a bit. Cost me 3 cents a mile in this automobile. Electricity. My electricity bill will go up about $18 a month based on my electric vehicle usage. Is that an issue? No. I don't have to go to a gas station and buy gas anymore, except when I drive my motorhome, and then when I pull up in there in the motorhome and fill up, I make up for all the gas I didn't buy in this, because it's a gas hog, 10 miles a gallon. But I don't drive it much. In fact, I may be giving up RVing here in the near future. I don't know. Anyway, I did a video talking about housebreaking a human, and some of you may or may not know, I full-time RV'd for 25, 28 years full-time, and that's all I lived in for all that time was an RV. And you got about 100, I had anywhere from 80 square feet of living space to about 160, and everywhere in between. And now I've got a 480 square foot tiny home at Fort Clark Springs, and it's taken some getting used to, I have to tell you. So with that in mind, guys, thumbs up. That's the mic. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye. Buy anything you want anytime. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all of my videos. Why? Because it doesn't cost you a penny. Just click on the link, go to Amazon, and buy whatever you choose, okay? Anyway, guys, enjoy your day, enjoy your life. Adios, bye-bye.